Today on CityCast Salt Lake, are you rearranging your diet to avoid Cyclospora? Here's what you need to know. Plus, we learned Salt Lake City has a chief sports officer and pet of the week in case you've got room in your house. I'm Ali Vallarta. I'm here with CityCast Salt Lake Audience Development Manager Angie Treasure. Hi, Ange.
Hello.
And CityCast Salt Lake contributor Chandler Rosenberg.
Good morning.
Hey, gang. Okay, before we get into the news, let's talk about 801 Day, the most important American holiday.
It's coming right up.
Angie, you've been so hard at work putting together this year's 801 Day, presented by Rocky Mountain Power, with help from our friends at the Milk Block. Tell us about what everyone can look forward to this Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to be gathering at the Milk Block, like Ali said, from 5 to 9 this Saturday, August 1st, to celebrate 801 Day. Something new we're doing this year is a business passport. So it's businesses up and down the 9 line who are offering deals, free activities. So you can hang out all day long on the 9 line and then join us for the party from 5 to 9. So some of the deals that are my favorite, Mochi Kids is having free button making all day long.
Cute.
I know, adorable. Tandoori Taqueria is doing a taco plus their mint lime coulis for $8.01. So there's
That's
a couple places.
Screaming deal.
It's great. And Lovebound Library is doing a free tote bag for passport holders who spend over $20. So we have a full breakdown of all of those passport deal participants. You can pick up a physical passport on Saturday from locations listed on our website. We'll also link that in the show notes, where you can actually have stamps and filled out where you are redeeming deals or just visiting the businesses. And if you come back to us between 5 and 9, you will get tickets entered for a drawing for some great prizes. So you can not only enjoy all the businesses on the 9 line, but come back and maybe win a little goodie too. So it's going to be great. We love that people want to celebrate Salt Lake City all day long and that the businesses were so excited to participate with us.
The thing I really love about this as well is that during the day when it's going to be hot as hell, you can spend all this time inside these air-conditioned businesses.
In the air conditioning, yeah.
And then by the time you make your way to us at the Milk Block, the sun will be setting and things will be cooling off. Great work, Angie, putting together this passport.
Thanks. Please RSVP if you're going to come visit us. And again, there's 30 plus businesses participating on the 9 line. So go visit all the awesome folks who are offering deals that day.
Our first 801 Day 4 years ago was literally me doing check-in, and it was so small, and it's amazing to see how much it's grown. Are you going to be there, Chandler?
It's my party of the year. I'm absolutely going to be there. And I'm not just coming for the whale unveiling, but what time is the whale unveiling? Is that a surprise?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Okay.
6 p.m. We will be unveiling the new mural for the whale.
Is there going to be like a tarp you're pulling off of it, or is it just,
You'll have
how does
to
that
come
work?
see.
Okay.
You'll have to see, but it will be kind of around where our booth is. We have a map by the milk block where you can see where we're all set up, but it will happen in that little square at the top of the 6 o'clock hour.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
We're not able to transport the whale itself down. This will be the reveal of the artwork that will go on the whale. And then I don't know exactly when the painting of the whale starts.
Mid to late August, they said the work will begin.
Okay, so pretty soon after, they're going to start painting.
Is the artist going to be on site?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Exciting.
I know. I'm like going to be full Jean Parmesan at this event. I'm so excited. Okay, RSVP, we'll see you on Saturday, 801 Day, the city's biggest holiday. Let's talk about our girl, Cyclospora. I was stunned, you guys, to see this polling from CBS News that 4 in 10 Americans are changing their eating habits now out of fear of Cyclospora.
Music to my ears.
Really?
Yes.
CBS also found that most Americans are following news about the Cyclospora, this is the parasite giving people diarrhea, outbreak, as closely as coverage of the Iran war.
Okay.
I can't decide how to like take that, you know? Like, am I just...
Yeah, is that good? Is that bad?
Good or is it bad? I mean, are people not paying enough attention to the war in Iran? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like to me, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear, which always means an opportunity for information.
Right.
But are either of you in the 40%? Are you rearranging diets?
Do you know what's funny? I've never eaten more like suspicious lettuce in my
leafy
life
greens.
than I have this month. Usually, I eat a lot of leafy greens. They're usually I'm local as much as possible, but lately I've been getting like random Caesar salads that I know that are probably coming from places like Taylor Farms, and I was like, oh,
but that's all you want in the summer.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm not a cilantro girly. I have the soap gene, so I'm already avoiding cilantro. I feel like I'm avoiding parsley. I love a garnish when I'm cooking. So I'm not doing that. I am thoughtful of it. I think we just went on a trip up to Yellowstone, and usually we are eating berries and yogurt, and I was like, let's skip the blueberries this time.
Oh no.
I'm eating more berries and yogurt than ever, but they're from the farmer's market. So I'm pretty thoughtful in my day-to-day to try to not buy food from these types of places. And so...
Sure. I mean, I'm also just like eating off the ground. Like I'm
eating dirt.
I've been doing it my whole life. My mom is literally, her career was an infection preventionist. And so, of course, in a reaction to that, I had to like, never wash my hands, lick the floor,
bulk out that
be
immune
a rebel.
system.
So I kind of like forget about it. Butter lettuce is my number one love. And so I'm eating tons and tons of butter lettuce. But I thought it was interesting. So I looked at the like Utah Department of Health website. They say there have been no reported cases in Utah as of basically today. Though,
okay, bad reporting then.
Some Utahns have been diagnosed with Cyclospora. So, but they say that the Utahns that have been diagnosed are people who have either traveled outside of the United States or traveled to another U.S. state. So they believe that there's no like local outbreak, basically. But it's here in that people have got it.
I heard it's tough too. I know someone in Utah that had it. I haven't asked her where she got it, when she got it, but I read that it's difficult to trace because it takes like 3 weeks, right? To know, like for the symptoms to come on.
Long incubation period.
Yeah. So it's hard to know what you ate 3 weeks ago sometimes, or like what it could have been when the symptoms take time to set in. So,
yeah. Well, so on the CDC's map, I thought it was also interesting where they're like tracking cases, because right now it says there are only 41 states reporting cases, a little over 4,000 cases around the country. But the West seems pretty in the clear. Like all the hotspots are on the East Coast into the Midwest. But once you get like west of Texas, the map really cools into like 0 to 10 cases territory.
Ali, did you have a theory about why Utah's in the clear?
I do. But it's like pretty simple. So basically, the belief here is that the Cyclospora is linked to iceberg lettuce from Taylor Farms. And the CDC went in and tested the lettuce at Taylor Farms, and they actually believe they had a false positive, but they still think Taylor Farms iceberg lettuce is the responsible party. And so when this all started to go down, Taylor Farms issued this recall. But they only recalled this lettuce in 27 states, and Utah wasn't one of them. So it might actually just be that simple, that they're not a supplier to our Utah businesses, which like they're a big supplier. So it's, we have all heard that it's the Taco Bell, it's Walmart, et cetera, et cetera. It's like these big, big chains. So my theory is just that we don't have a lot of Taylor Farms lettuce in our state.
We're not on the distribution map.
We weren't on the recall list. So.
We have a lot of lettuce production in the Western U.S., like Arizona, surprisingly, California. So maybe we're getting it closer to home and in the clear.
That does surprise me, because I would think lettuce wants like humidity.
Yeah,
it doesn't?
I think it wants sunshine. I mean, they like steered a lot of the produce production to the West just because it's sunny year round and we can irrigate. So we can just like master control how we grow things, and we don't have winter basically in Arizona,
Right.
So much about lettuce, Chandler.
I track food.
Yeah. Love that.
We should mention, Chandler, you're like a food systems expert.
They do say that lettuce is basically just like a device for dressing. Someone calls it something related to water. Like it doesn't really provide you anything. It's just
ranch
it's just
delivery
water
service.
3D water. Yeah.
It's a vessel.
Mm-hmm. So it's like maybe one of those things that we shouldn't necessarily grow, but Ali likes it, so it stays for now.
Well, I am convinced that like Salt Lake is on its way to being the new Phoenix climate-wise.
Yeah.
As we now, this year? We'll have 17 days over 100 degrees.
That's the average.
Yeah, so maybe more lettuce in our future. I did see something that really delighted me, and I feel like, Chandler, you probably know about this, but there was some reporting in CBS about how some of this could go back to the Trump administration defunding positions at the FDA and the CDC. So the FDA is down like 20% of its staff. The CDC is down 25% of its staff. And specifically at the CDC, they used to have 11 scientists tracking food parasites, and now they've only got 3. So I guess like in this reporting, CBS is talking about how in 2006, there was a spinach contamination. That was like the 06 version of all of this. And so the FDA warned people against eating spinach and whatever. And so the West Coast spinach farming industry was upset about this because, of course, they took a huge hit. And they established the Leafy Greens Marketing Agreement, the LGMA. Which is like this coalition of farmers who basically said, we're going to adopt food safety protocols that are more stringent than the federal government's.
Wow.
We're going to self-regulate.
I love that.
Good for the leafy greens.
Yeah.
Do we have anything like that in Utah? Is there like I know there's like the farmers market network.
I mean, the farmers that I know that are more on the small side growing organic, whether it's certified or not, but organic practices produce, I think they just have like an ethic to, grow things in a certain way, and they have like a community around it, but there's no, verification like that or like industry standard. It's too much work. I love the reporting around how, and like the attention that this has drawn to the consolidation of our food supply, because that's like my main interest in talking point.
What do you mean?
But just basically, so over, I don't know, decades, the federal government is creating a disastrous food system, allowing all of these companies to consolidate. And so farms just buy up smaller farms and get bigger, bigger, bigger. And that happens at every level of the supply chain. And so it's really hard to track when something like this happens. It's not easy to say, oh, we grew it here, it was sold over here. It's like, we grew it here, it went to 100 places, it went to 100 other places. And it's just really tough to stop something once it's rolling. So I think hopefully this does call more attention to just how our food system works and maybe the drawbacks of that corporate consolidation.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't believe in corporate consolidation, but I one time had a veterinarian who told me that they recommended that I feed my dog sort of like mainstream dog food, because when there is a recall issue, the information gets out faster than when you are buying from the like smaller brands, and they have a harder time reaching the masses with information about product changes or recalls. Is there something to be said for the fact that like every Taco Bell is using basically the same lettuce provider, and that we all at least got the APB quickly?
Maybe at like Taco Bell, but if you go out to a restaurant in Salt Lake City, like a fast casual place, like there's no way you're getting the information about the breakout, And,
yeah, that's
and
true.
I buy my lettuce. I got my lettuce yesterday from my farmers' hands. Literally, if they had an issue, they would text me, which like obviously that's tiny scale, not practical. But yeah, maybe there's a middle ground here. I don't know.
You're the middle ground. I'm coming to get my lettuce from you, Chandler.
I actually have. Yeah, I have too much. So please come over.
Okay.
So then is the like cure, if you're a Salt Laker, you're worried about this, you're in the 40%. This is your Iran war. Yeah. Buy your lettuce at Liberty Heights Fresh. Go to Central 9th Market. Like, is that the farmer's market on Saturday? Is that basically the safest
That's
bet?
what I'm doing. Or don't eat raw food if you're really that worried. Yeah.
Which is my guess at what Utahns are adapting to in such large quantities. It's like, shoot, I don't have to eat anything green or fresh today. It's not that hard for us,
Raw food is actually really hard on your digestion. So I stopped eating salads for a while for that reason, and only cooked food. So if you're worried about that.
Okay. Well, we can let go of the salad.
Hard to digest food for thought from Chandler.
People don't know that. People think like, oh, I should eat a salad every day. And it's like, no, a salad once a month.
What?
1 month
Once
salad.
a month?
It's a little different for everyone, but yeah, if you have any digestive issues, like you should not be eating salad.
Huh. Okay. Fine then.
I'm not a doctor, but
we'll keep eating
Google it.
giant cookies and
No, just cook it. Cook your vegetables. Eat vegetables, but cook them.
CityCast Salt Lake audience development manager Angie Treasure and contributor Chandler Rosenberg. I got this email from Visit Salt Lake the other day announcing that their chief sports officer had been appointed the board chair of another sportsy organization. And I was like, we have a chief sports officer? That explains so much.
He's doing a great job, it seems like.
We love sports here.
Angie, I want to ask you about this because you worked for probably the biggest sports organization in the state, Smith Entertainment Group, for years.
Started at the Jazz when it was owned by Larry H. Miller still, or the Miller Sports and Entertainment Group, which they've since rebranded to, and then transitioned to Smith Entertainment Group when they purchased the team. So I got a little bit of both of the sports
I need like
dynasties.
the underground report of the transition. To say, I'm like, can we do the
fully derail and ask you about that transition?
Oh, I mean, it happened during COVID and I have such a memory hole of that time. I was also going through a divorce at the time. So the details are fuzzy.
What an era.
I know, it truly. This is where all this gray hair came from.
You and the Jazz were both going through a divorce.
We were both going through a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had not known this position existed. I've known about the Utah Sports Commission, which I don't know if you all are familiar with.
Yep.
Which seems to have some similar aims as Visit Salt Lake's chief sports officer. It seems more about getting sporting events to the state, like ski competitions. I saw something mentioned about an archery competition and bringing in tourism via these sports competitions, which makes a lot of sense, right? We have the Salt Palace, we have facilities all up and down the valley that can accommodate these things. But I did not know this was a job. I'm interested to see what you guys think, but I also see obviously, Utah and Salt Lake City is in such a sports boom market, bringing the NHL team to the state recently. I don't know that we ever thought we'd have another major sports franchise. Obviously, the Miller Group is currently trying to bring MLB here. I kind of feel like sport is the new tech.
We got Major League softball, the Talons.
Got the Talons.
Oh, yeah.
We have the Royals.
We have a Major League
volleyball.
Women's volleyball team, one of 6 teams in that league.
Yeah.
Love Salt Lake.
I just feel like, and maybe part of it is the Ryan Smith of it all, where it's kind of tech and sport intermingling, but it feels like that's kind of the cool, big new thing. Obviously, Salt Lake has always been a bastion of sport. The Olympics didn't happen by accident. We have a booming outdoor recreation economy here. So it feels like a bit of an extension of that. And I think it's just cool to be in sports right now.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
I think you get a lot of eyeballs, which is fun. I think, for example, the Millers got out of sports and now they're getting back into sports. I think they missed, as much as they have the dealerships and they got into real estate and the movie theaters, I think they missed the shine that comes from, especially a major sports league. Obviously, they are now in RSL, the ownership group, and are heavily involved in MLB to Utah, which I don't know if anyone saw, but recently a sports insider for MLB was asked about it. And he said Salt Lake is #1 on the list for expansion for Major League Baseball. So it seems like it'll happen. Obviously, they have the infrastructure. They know how to run a sports franchise. They were known as one of those rock solid sports ownership groups in all of the NBA for a really, really long time. But I do think it's the cool thing to be courtside, ringside. You know, it's hard to beat. As much as I don't think that's something that matters to certain owners, I think maybe some of the 2.0 leadership of these groups. But
interesting.
It makes sense that tourism-wise, why Visit Salt Lake would want to appoint someone who's specifically sports focused.
Yeah.
He's doing a good job. I played club volleyball from like age 11 to 18 and really competitively around the country. And we never had major tournaments in Salt Lake. And now there's one almost every year. I see like the girls in their spandex downtown. And sometimes I'll go and watch and shed a tear for times gone by. But
just get a whiff of the gym.
Things like that used to
trauma.
not happen. And now there's really big tournaments here. And it does seem like this role is more of like a, how do we get these, you know, youth leagues, club leagues, different competitions coming to the state to stimulate business, which it's an industry for sure.
Well, that's the thing that I think is like the business piece of this feels like the missing piece of this.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's changed, is that the state has sort of made the active choice to be fertile ground for sports at the municipal level, at the state level, like whether it's tax breaks, tax credits, free land. We have made the waters incredibly warm for all kinds of franchises. And that's been like a deliberate choice. Like the state is betting on sports and sports revenue. I think it's going to be interesting over the next like 10 or 20 years to track that revenue against taxpayer spending or state spending to incentivize it. Like, are they ever going to meet? Will one ever be higher than the other, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be like the big question. But I also think if you are a billionaire sports franchise owner or a multimillionaire sports franchise aspiring owner, there are a lot of states, including Utah, that are really happy to do what it takes to keep you in town and to give you what you want. And I think a lot of these owners are coming out of an era now where they kind of can't believe their luck. And we're entering into an era where their luck might be changing. I mean, we've seen in other cities like voters in referendum votes choosing not to subsidize stadiums, choosing
Portland
not
right now.
to really turning on these franchise owners for the amount that they've asked of the community, the amount of money they want to draw out of the community. I'll be interested to see how Utahns feel about all this down the line. It feels like we're a little bit delayed in that process.
And it all feels a little related to the Olympics to me. I think 2002 was such a high for the state. For leadership, felt like they accomplished a lot, got a lot of eyeballs in Salt Lake City, obviously getting the bid again for the next for 2034 is a major milestone. So it kind of feels related to the Olympics for me.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Maybe we'll rebrand from Silicon Slopes to Spandex Slopes.
I sure hope not.
Right now, Ivana would say we're wife slopes.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
Reality TV.
Silicon wife.
There you go.
Silicon wife is perfect.
We need to make merch.
Sports Salt Lake launched in 2021, which is kind of a long time ago. But I have to say, Sports Lake City was right there.
Sports Lake City's cute. Yeah.
Every time I look at Sports Salt Lake, I'm like, oh, Sports Lake City was right there. But I want to ask you both, like, if you could appoint a chief something officer for Salt Lake City, what would it be?
Food. The city does not care about food. Sorry.
You mean like farmers market-y food or eating out food?
All sorts of stuff. Not eating out food, but maybe there could be like an office of food that kind of manages both and helps us figure out how to stimulate local business, small business, restaurants, and farms, grocers, that sort of side of the supply chain at the same time, and connect the two. We are trying to get creative. I work with Maria Schwartz, who's the food program manager at Salt Lake City, and some other folks figuring out just what we can do for the supply chain. And we're trying to get creative around the Olympics and say, okay, can we use the Olympics as like a catalyst to fund some of the supply chain infrastructure we need, and say, hey, you can use it for your sports, and then we can have it as a city when you're done. So someone to run all of that would be my vote.
I want something to replace losing Sundance. So this is chief filmmaking officer, or maybe we're just like movie buff officer. That feels very relevant to me.
Ali
we
Vallarta?
love our movies. Yeah, Ali can do it. Ali already is up for Nightmare. She can't be Nightmare and chief.
Wait, what?
I don't know
She's
that I'm
Nightmare
up for
officer?
Nightmare.
It does sound like we're saying Nightmare. Like
I know.
Oh, Nightmare. I get it.
I'm sorry, Nightmare. She was on Trax Talk with our friend Kendall, and she said Salt Lake City needs a nightmare, a mayor of
believe
A
nightlife.
mayor of nightlife. Yeah,
I believe
that's a good one.
this strongly.
Who's your
I'm
chief,
also
Ali?
sure that I'm a nightmare in many Salt Lake households.
She's a nightmare.
Ali Vallarta. Nightmare.
No, I mean, Okay, yeah, you preempted me, Angie. Like it's a chief nightlife officer,
Yeah.
which I think includes restaurants. It's like an acknowledgement that if this wants to be a 36-hour city, like we have to be channeling resources to everything that happens after 5 p.m. And I think it's a lot to ask of the daytime staff in the mayor's office, right? To then be, working into midnight. But I do think like there should be somebody who, for example, a business can call when they're struggling with something and they're like operating hours are 4 p.m. to 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And whether that's like getting stanchions in front of their, temple so that when the party ends and people are waiting for Ubers, they can like line up instead of mobbing into the street and getting in fistfights. For example, that seems like something where like a nightlife officer or a nightlife department could provide resources instead of just like calling the police. But yes, it's true. I love it. I like your idea, Chandler, as well, because I'm interested in like Tucson, for example, when they became a UNESCO city, a UNESCO World Heritage Site for gastronomy, they created a nonprofit organization that like manages the city's status as a UNESCO gastronomy city. And so it like this entity exists to like think about the food systems and also protect what about their food system is so special. And I think that's cool. CityCast Salt Lake audience development manager Angie Treasure and contributor Chandler Rosenberg. Let's spend a little time doing Pet of the Week. Ivana and I did this a while back and we had a blast with it. We've all gone looking for creatures that we would adopt if we had room in our house. Angie, start us off. Who did you fall in love with on the internet?
I went and scrolled Cause Animals Instagram page, and they have a transport coming in from Texas, an open air shelter, and they're trying to find foster homes for a bunch of these dogs. So this could be a foster to adopt situation, or obviously fostering animals is really important, especially when some of them are coming from such poor outcome shelters. So I found Eva. She's a little Chihuahua mix. We just lost our Chihuahua mix in April, and so I'm really itching for a little quirky little mix animal. She's arriving from Texas on August 4th and needs a foster home. So if you're interested in fostering or fostering to adopt, the info is on Cause Animals Instagram page. You can also go to their website, cause.org, and submit an application to foster for Ava.
Foster. I could never foster and then say goodbye.
It's
too sad.
I consume so much fostering content. Do you guys follow Simon Sitz? Do you know who that is?
No, I'm not on the foster
man,
algos.
she just lost her dog, her dog Simon, who was 7 and had epilepsy, and they had to put him down. And they've fostered, I think, 40 dogs, and he's been the best big brother. And it was so heartbreaking. But fostering is really important work, even if you aren't able to adopt full time.
Yeah. I fostered my dog Denny and then kept him. And
foster fail?
Yeah.
They don't love when you do that because they want you to be a pipeline for other animals.
My friends often foster, like almost once a year, they foster either a litter of dogs or cats, and they will always keep one at least. And
that's cute.
There you go. Build the pack.
Yeah, I was going to say that's an exponential graph.
Yeah, they live on a farm now and have like 10 dogs. So,
Angie, should we assume that Eva was separated from her family in the flooding in Texas?
Yes.
That's a great question.
Is that the story?
It doesn't say currently, but they said that they were currently in an open air shelter while temperatures are triple digits.
No.
If I worked for like a foster care or animal adoption agency, I would get very creative with the backstories. I think that's a big part of the sales pitch.
Yeah, and
fan fiction.
Names.
Foster fan fiction.
Yeah, yes.
The names are wild.
The names are awesome.
I fostered Denny, they sent me a spreadsheet with like thousands of names on it. And you had to pick a name for your dog that had never been chosen before, which is why he's Denny's Grand Slam, because there were previous other iterations of Denny.
Yeah.
Chandler, what about you? Who did you find?
Maybe that explains why my pet of the week is named Vanellope. She is a sassy looking Min Pin, which for whatever reason was my like dream dog as a kid. And if people don't know what that is, it's like a Doberman Pinscher, but tiny. So kind of Chihuahua-esque, like the black with tan. This photo on Rescue Rovers, which is where I always go browsing for dogs because they always have just tons of cute dogs. Her paws are crossed and she's just like lounging on this couch and she's got these little like heart-shaped ears. I won't read her full bio, but she's 2. And her favorite things to do are lounging in her plush dog bed and exploring by courtyard. Don't quite know what that means, but
sounds so sophisticated.
She's potty trained. She doesn't love to be picked up, but she's super cute. I also have honorable mention for Best Friends Animal Society or Animal Sanctuary. Anyone looking to adopt some barn animals, they've got a lot of goats. So if you need some help around the farm, some extra, manure or just
Chandler thinks everyone works on a farm.
I think everyone lives and works on it.
We can't afford 20 square feet in Salt Lake City. Maybe we should be looking at farms.
Don't mow that lawn.
Dolly Parton. Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
There's something there.
I've got one and then we'll get out of here. We are going to link all of these pets in the show notes. So if you are intrigued, if you want to go, if you want Eva, or if you want my girl Stephanie, who I'm going to tell you about, those will be available for you in the show notes. You can go grab them. I found Stephanie on Salt Lake County Animal Services. I thought it was funny. I went to look up their adoption fee schedule. Their large dogs are cheaper than their small dogs.
I believe that.
They're like, get them out.
Puppies are the most expensive. So it gives you a sense of what people walk in looking for at Salt Lake County Animal Services. Stephanie is so cute. Here's why I'm keen on her. She is a Shiba Inu.
Cutest.
Yeah. Streamer.
4 years old, which I think is a nice age because they're usually like potty trained, etc. Know the basics. She's got the cute little Shiba Inu curled up tail. Her name was Persephone, but it seems like maybe people were struggling with that, so they just went with Stephanie.
Persephone goes by Stephanie.
Yeah. I feel kinship with people that nobody can get their name right, as an Ali Vallarta. Good luck spelling that correctly. She's got mile-high ears. And then something about me is that I'm like almost never fall in love with anything that isn't a pit bull. I'm like pit bull all day. But she has like her little face is just wide enough that she kind of could pass. She's got the like really wide cheeks and like the little round head. She's cute. She's playful. She is like in this video playing with toys and running around in circles. Cute. I've always wanted a dog that wants to do things like play fetch. If I throw something, Denny looks at me like I should probably go get that.
Denny Grand Slam will not be participating.
No, unless it's in water. If you throw the thing in water, suddenly he could play fetch all day. But on land, not interested. So I don't know. Check out Stephanie. She's really, really cute. I feel like if you have kids in your house, they'd have a great time with her. But I will not be picking her up, though I'm tempted. Okay. The last thing to share before we go, I thought this was cool. Salt Lake County is doing a free dog behavior talk this Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. That's this Thursday, July 30th, tomorrow. And they're bringing in Dr. Lynn Gilbert Norton, PhD. And it's like don't bring your dog. It's not a training session. It's like a human training session. It's a lecture on how dogs think. And
interesting. How
to like interpret their behaviors. And I think that's so cool. You can register for this. It's completely free. It's called My Dog is Crazy. So if you're looking for something fun to do on Thursday night, check that out, especially if you have a farm full of foster fails. Okay. CityCast Salt Lake Audience Development Manager Angie Treasure and contributor Chandler Rosenberg. Have a great day.
Have a great day. See ya.
See ya.
Don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Salt Lake neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. Now's the time to become one because we have a special perk for you at 801 Day. You get to put a drink in the beer garden on our tab. That is all for us today here on CityCast Salt Lake. We will be back tomorrow morning with more from around town. Take care.